if you're a hardcore rider fan, unlike me, just an orbiter, then things have been good or not so good because hi, this is Alexplore, a bit of a show and tell where I will pick up some gunpla or figurine, or in this case a Kamen Rider figure ride standard, and just talk about them. This is Kamen Rider Kuuga Rising Dragon figure ride standard. Now, Kamen Rider Kuuga is not the big cat Kamen Rider, it is actually Kamen Rider Kawabushi or Stack Beetle. That's why you have this pincer-like crown or antenna, because that's what all Kamen Rider have on its head. Now, Kamen Rider Kuuga is the first of the Heisei riders, a bygone era, or the previous era, and this is the dragon form, which I figure is appropriate with the Year of Dragon ended or ending, depending on your calendar preferences. The figure ride standard is Bandai's, you can say, HG-like style for non-mechanical characters. Definitely first created for the Kamen Riders and Dragon Ball, but then it extended to the Ultraman, the Power Armor version Ultraman. So that's a bit of an overlap, and some Gundam characters are made in figure ride standard, so let's say it is more of a figurine orientated type of product line. Kamen Rider Kuuga is special not only because it is the first Heisei rider, but it is also the first non-Gene Splice rider. Well, not technically the first non-Gene Splice rider, but the first main rider that is not Gene Splice. Kuuga is probably a cyborg, just like most riders or previous riders, because the armor is described as a bio armor, living armor. So, and it is integrated to the wearer of the belt. It is not the first rider to have multiple forms, especially for different specialization, but definitely the first one with very drastic changes. Kuuga, when you see him eat, most of the time should be bred in the mighty form. The dragon form is an alternative form that trade the power of the mighty form to speed. Let's not talk about how power and speed is pretty much the same thing for physicality. Anyways, the mighty form or the general form is red and the dragon form is blue. So it is a blueprint that a lot of rider would follow afterwards, even though if I remember correctly, the next rider does not do that, but either way. And a rising dragon form is the power-up version of dragon form. That's why it have a lot more gold, as we will, or I will show the dragon form parts and instead of the rising dragon ones. That's why you got a lot more gold around for the higher level of power that Kuuga managed to achieve. Most of the gold you see is part of the kit. The box and the menu describe them as plating, but they are not the general mirror finish that you see on Gunpla. Rather, it is a bit of a smoke finish before they do a bit of a gold spray or gold dipping. That's why you see all these scripts runes are still silverish because they don't get as much as the clear yellow or orange dipping. So as the hand armor. There you go, that's better. So quite a substantial amount of plating done. It is. Let's move the bow staff away and see some of the. As with most gold plating parts, you can't gold plate the parts where it connected to the sprue, so you'll see there's nicks here and there. There's some on the brace as well. I painted with gold. Those actually looks nice on the camera, not on the naked eye. These necks on the edge, I hope they would not show, but clearly didn't. And I did try undergauge for some of them, but because the shoulder piece is kind of big, so I pretty much left that one to demonstrate how undergauge fix some problem, but not all. Like they really, I will go on to the buy beef with thick rice later. But yeah, either way, the plating looks good for the most part anyway, unless I really picked out, where problematic. Thick rice standards are great because they do have a lot of movement, like the head. It have a neck in the torso, and then independently a ball joint on the head. And the arm, as we see, the elbow is double jointed. Hand is fixed type. There are a lot of replacement. We'll see them later. But they are on a ball joint, so there are a bit of give aside from just rotation. Shoulder double jointed as well, with the shoulder armor having their own pivot. So it follows very close to Kuuga's movement. Ab, fairly big crunch for rider kick, even though dragon form does not do rider kick. And yeah, they have hip rotation. So even though this is only 90 degrees or 100 degrees, it actually, phi actually goes way down. So we could do a very natural kneeling pose. Oh, double joint for the knee as well. So yeah, very dynamic model overall. Now, why do I say I have beef with thick right standards? Well, because even though the Rising Dragon form is released on 2022, the basis of thick rise was released in 2010, and most of it have not changed. Now, for the riders, it's pretty good because their undersuit or base suit is black. So even with the giant hip gap here, or some of the elbow gap here, it is not very apparent. But they do, well, the thigh turn, that is actually pretty huge. So very natural kicking as well. But yeah, I don't think the gaps are really an issue. It is realistic, well, for a toy, for reasonable price toy or model kit. But yeah, they are from 2010, so it is kind of stuck at that level of technology, not quite as nice as you would see on some more modern ones. I think the Dragon Ball ones, they recently got some new versions that have improved basically, all this gapping, and then a lot of the gates is not as nasty as these, making the model looks a lot better with straight builds. For full modeling, it is actually pretty good because they don't have a lot of color separation that isn't separated in parts. So, for example, Rising Dragon here, the gems on the bracelets and the knee band supposed to be blue like the knee one, but they're plated, so you probably have to go in with different stroke anyway. But then the edge of the shoulder armor is a separate piece, so that's all good. The mouthpiece or face mask is silver, like the belt, so that's good. The only relatively nasty part is the belt itself, where it has a lot of tiny colors, which is the fun bit. Stickers. Talking about my beef with Vaporized Standard. Yeah, this kid's supposed to have that much stickers. Do bear in mind it is double size for Dragon Form and Rising Dragon. Dragon Form have more blue, and then Rising Dragon have the gold. Without them, looks fine. That round strip of gold supposed to be for the chest armor, which is ironically, sticker is pointless for the Dragon Form, and for Rising Dragon, they just didn't give it a extra part like the shoulder. Kind of sad, but production costs. Oh, and yeah, the long strip you saw at the bottom back there. All right, bring back the sticker a little bit. Yeah, the staff supposed to have this center section with stickers on both sides. And that is a hard nope for me. So I painted it instead. Didn't get the red text. I might come back with a detailed brush later. For now, that's good enough to show it. Also, Rising Dragon shouldn't be using the playing staff, but I like the playing staff. Feels more like a good guy weapon, And yeah, the only sticker that I use are for the eyes. That's how they get a such gray sheen from the clear blue eyes. Let's take a look at the extra parts. First is the proper Rising Dragon double spear. Double spear is not as crazy as some people think they are. And in Rising Dragon's case, it is wielded by a superpower cyborg against other superpower beings. So with such wide blades, it makes sense. Although I feel like it's well, there are some Kuuga law. Let's just say I don't agree with it. I don't agree with the employment of the double blade. Even though Kuuga does use blades in some other forms and even shoots arrows, so not super, let's say, honorable. But I do feel the double blade spear takes away some of the good guyness of Kuuga. Here are the scripted runed pieces on the side of the chest in metallic blue. This is actually a nice color, although it doesn't contrast very well with the blue chest. That's why I ultimately did not choose to use these. But they are nice either way. Regular dragon form just have a plain blue collar, plain black shoulder pads and a plain silverish metallic belt buckle with a blue gem. Here are the hand options, fists, actual salute maybe, or pointing, or just releasing the first two fingers, more sprayed hand, open palm, and a good job, thumbs up. Now these are the Kuuga Mighty Form parts. And I just throw this whole sprue in because it have like a few, basically the arms and legs buckles. Oh, and the chest piece. But yeah, then I just throw the rest of it in because, cost them less to cut a new mold from this. Also from Mighty Form is the rider kick effects. Because it was the red part is now cast in blue, so this part comes with it as well. And yeah, it fit on Kuuga's foot just fine. Last but not least, this set actually comes with a stand, and these joints, I don't think the camera can see it. Oh, the camera can. The joints here are octagonal. They are not rounded, they are octagonal, so they would have some resistance. Not a lot, but enough to support the fig rice itself. So all in all, and yeah, this peg go into this little rectangle hole at the back, right at the center of gravity, so it would support Kuuga very stably. Size of fig rice standard is a bit larger than your average HG mobile suit, and they're larger than your figure arts, slightly. So depending on characters, you might actually have more accurate scale with the figure art standard, mixing with figure arts. But in this case, 7 is supposed to be actually taller than regular people, so 7 is significantly smaller compared to Kuuga, at least scale-wise. The distribution of this kit is kind of odd. In Japan, it is a hobby online shop only thing, so P-Bandai. But as far as I can tell, most other parts of the world, they are being distributed like a normal box set. So, depending on where you live, you can find them on store shelf very easily, or it's extremely difficult for you, really depending on how the distributor decided to deal with it. Yes, it is a bit more expensive than most fig rice standards because of the large amount of plating used. I've had some beef with fig rice standards. That's kind of why I stashed this at the back of my collection for a while. But building it reminds me how great fig rice is. Just that there are little things that I guess Bandai do improve now with some of their new releases. So pretty much any kits after the Dragon Ball revival ones, they're great. Before that, they're good. I think Kuuga Rising Dragon here looks great compared to most other physical version that you can find, aside from maybe the Shinkokucho, where they go really tight and have very good human proportions. Regular figure arts would be around the same quality, if not worse, depending on how good you are at building them. Also, depending on reprints, really a lot of different factors. I think going either way is fine. And then there is the RAH, which, yeah, if you're going for RAH, you go for RAH. Um, I do wonder if Bandai would release some form of perfect grade for the riders to compete with RAH just because Bandai can. But yeah, in general, I'm just happy that Bandai come back and release more rider figure standards, and they have been busy with the rider figure arts. So if you're a hardcore rider fan, unlike me, just an orbiter, then things have been good or not so good because anyways. Um Hope you have a great year of Snake. Thanks for watching.